Since our founding in 2004, the Ignatian Solidarity Network has been forming, networking, and educating advocates to defend and promote the inherent dignity of all God's creation, both people and planet. But what does it mean to be an Ignatian advocate? First and foremost, Ignatian advocacy is uniquely rooted in the experience of Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the 16th century saint and founder of the Jesuit order of Catholic priests and brothers. Ignatius of Loyola experienced a great conversion in his life that led him to turn toward God. In doing so, he sought to live more like a saintly person who followed Christ. For a period of time, Ignatius gave up his clothing to have a period of voluntary poverty, and he came to understand the experience of the most forgotten in society and came to treat the economically poor and vulnerable with tremendous reverence and grace that was typically reserved for people who commanded great respect because of their wealth or their power. As the Jesuit order evolved, Ignatius and his companions sought to not only be people of charity, but also to develop institutions that could respond to the realities of the world. Now advance forward 500 years to the 1960s, when Father Pedro Rupe became Superior General, leader of the Jesuits worldwide, and was charged with moving the order forward in the midst of a time of great social change. Rupe, often referred to as the second founder of the Jesuits, built on the foundations of Ignatius and his successors to redefine the Jesuits' mission to be the service of faith and the promotion of justice. This phrase was the title of a 1975 document where Father Rupe and Jesuit leaders worldwide called for a total commitment to responding to the realities of a world increasingly divided by injustice that was not only personal but institutionalized. One way of responding to the realities of injustice identified so clearly in 1975 is advocacy. Webster's dictionary defines this term as public support for or recommendation of a particular cause or policy. But an Ignatian understanding of advocacy has a number of unique elements. Ignatian advocacy is guided by our Catholic faith, most clearly articulated in the values of Catholic social teaching that emphasize God's special love and commitment to those who are economically poor and vulnerable. With this commitment in mind, as Ignatian advocates, we are called to carry a spirit of solidarity and a vision of global community, that we are all God's people. To be an Ignatian advocate, you must always be seeking to understand how those who are most vulnerable to our reality are impacted and be committed to ensuring that their voices are heard and amplified. Ignatian advocates seek constructive engagement with centers of power, such as the United States Congress, state legislators, or local governments, or even corporate leaders, to promote a more just and inclusive society. Ignatian advocacy is grounded in intellectual understanding that requires an advocate to spend time researching and analyzing to recognize the complexity of an issue, its interconnectedness to other issues, and how others may view it. Ignatian advocacy is reflective. Advocates must create space to reflect on the experience of those most impacted, the focus of their advocacy, their understanding of the complexities, and their experience advocating itself. In closing, I want to share a quotation with you from remarks Pope Francis made. We need a true cultural revolution, a transformation of our collective gaze, of our attitudes, of our ways of perceiving ourselves and of placing ourselves before the world. Hence, the importance of the gradual work of transforming structures through participation in public dialogue, where decisions are made that condition the lives of the lowly. Ignatian advocacy is working for that cultural revolution by engaging where decisions are made. Thank you for being part of it and part of the Ignatian family.